Well, welcome to another Memphis Monday 165. I'm calling this Memphis Monday Benches and Lights. Right now, I might change the name later depending on what we run into and what we work on. Story is, this wasn't supposed to be a televised or a videoed project. This was just going to be an offline project. But then once I got started on it, I realized, it might be interesting to somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and film it. But instead of talking the whole episode, let's get to work. I'm going to install a plug. These lights there are all hardwired in, which means every time they break, I've got to get up there and unhardwire them and replace them. So I'm installing plugs in the hard wiring and then putting these LED plug-ins. The only building projects so far that I've determined, as you can see, I already started the job, but my bench here is not tall enough. I need to raise it. I need to build a bench that raises, that I can put up on here so I can stand on it. Let me get up on here and I'll show you the problem. So I get up on here and my hand won't even reach the ceiling. So I want my bench to be pretty wide, probably, say 22 inches wide. And I want the base to fit between these two struts right here. So the legs can't be any wider than 45. Here's a schematic of the bench we're going to build. The legs will angle out. I don't know exactly how far, maybe 5-6 degrees. The base will be no wider than 45 degrees, and it'll be 21 inches wide. And the whole thing will really be stiffened by this piece of wood that'll go across the front. That's the reason these kind of benches are really strong, because that piece of wood right there will gusset the whole thing and it'll be super strong. So I got my blade set at 7.5 degrees, tilted this way. So what I'll do is I'll make a cut along here and make a 7.5 degree cut, and then I'll come over here 10 inches and make another 7.5 degree cut, and that'll be one leg, and then I'll do the other leg. What I've done here is I've come over here 10 inches and made my little mark, but it really doesn't matter. Let me show you why. What really matters is that I make both legs the same. So what I've done is I put a mark. You can see it right here, see this line? And I will run my leg over to that mark. Okay, I have my legs propped up at their 7.5 degrees. Now let me show you how I'm going to get the size of the top. Okay, we said we wanted the base. We wanted the base to be 45 down here at the bottom, but these things are slanted outward, so the top is obviously going to be shorter than 45 degrees. So by setting these things up here, I can just measure across here, and it's 42 and 1/8. Oh, here's something you didn't think of, or maybe you did. This bottom here has this 7.5 degree angle. Well, the top also has a 7.5 degree angle, which means that I'm going to have to cut a 7.5 degree angle on that top cut to make it match the angle of the legs. Okay, here's another trap. You can see that on the legs, the angles both went the same direction. I think that's called a rhombus or something. Okay, they both went the same direction. But we put this thing on here, I put this angle on here. Okay, that's going to meet that angle for the angled leg, like that, which means that the other angle on the other side, it has to flare outward also. So remember, when you're working by yourself, you know, you can do strange things. You can stand there and look at it and do all this stuff that, you know, make you look silly, just to make sure, okay, this angle has to go this way, so this angle has to go this way. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay, here's kind of what our bench is going to look like. I'll nail and glue along these edges before we put the brace in there. That'll really make it strong. I'm using 15 gauge finish nails, 2 inches long. This is a real good plywood. This is a marine plywood right here. It's 11 thicknesses thick. And this is a pretty good cabinet grade plywood here. There, I just put a couple of nails in it just to kind of hold it, so I can get it up, make sure I have it in position when I put the rest of the nails in it. Remember that all that recycled wood we put together, we about used it all up. This is some more of it we're going to use right now. I'll show it to you once I cut it. Here's that oak. These are 4.5 inches wide. And there'll be one of these on each side bracing it. So what I'll do is put this piece up here, line it up with the top, and then mark those angles right off the legs. Okay, near as I can tell, it's just shy of 7 degrees. I've had pretty good luck with those big nails, so I'm gonna use them again on these braces. Now, one of the things you'll find is that plywood almost always has a little, warp in it or bend in it, and you just have to flatten it out as you go. I think I'm going to try to use a clamp on this. It's not very much. I didn't even notice it until I put it in. Well, there's our little footstool bench. It's probably the strongest thing pound for pound in the universe. Let's add a little bit of trim to the legs and maybe sand a little bit. Put some finish on it, because I'll be using it around the shop for years to come. Well, there's our little bench. It'll take a few minutes for that stain to dry out a little bit, but it'll take us a few minutes to get set up in the garage, and we'll take it over and give it a test drive. Well, first let's see how easy it is to get up on the thing. Well, I can reach everything now. Okay, here's a little takeaway. You've probably replaced one of these little wall things before, and it's always fun trying to figure out where to put the wires. Here's an interesting little mnemonic. Green, grass is green and it grows on the ground. So the ground goes to the green. Here on the silver ones, the Lone Ranger's horse was white and he was named Silver. So the white wire goes on the silver. In the Beverly Hillbillies, black gold. The oil they found was black gold. So black goes on the gold. Here's the lights I'm putting in. These are LEDs, and I got them dirt cheap. I don't remember what I paid for them, but less than $10. They don't have any bulbs in them. Do crap out on you. All you got to do is take this one down and buy a new one and put it up. And they are bright. Check it out. I hate to show you this kind of stuff because you maybe think I believe it, but they claim these things can last up to 45 years and never change a bulb. And I don't know if they're any good, so because I haven't actually tried them yet, but here's the brand name of them. Well, I got 2 lights in. Let me put the other 2 in, and this case will be closed. Well, we got all 4 of our lights in. And our little platform we built worked out perfect. Well, that does it for another Memphis Monday 165. Benches and lights. I wasn't going to bring you along on this adventure, but then when I decided to build this bench, I thought, well, that'd be kind of interesting. Make sure if you can build these benches any size, and all your sins will be forgiven as long as you put this board across here, this brace, to gusset the legs and the top. That makes it super strong, and I'm interested to look at the video and see how much this thing gave when I got up on it. I suspect not hardly at all. But I guess that's it. You got a good takeaway on how to remember the green, the white, and the gold screws on a receptacle. Alrighty, I can't think of anything else to say. Oh yeah. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.